welcome back to the All Signs Next 48 reading. Yeah, we're definitely still all being hit with the disruptions, delays, and cutoffs energy. And also while I was waiting, while I was pausing and waiting for the last big video to update so I could finish this lovely reading, I was thinking about this tower in here, and it kind of reminds me in a way of like that scene in Aladdin where like he's running and he's doing that song, was it one jump? I don't know, I can't remember exactly how it goes. But he's kind of running away, and then he runs into Jasmine, and they kind of run, they run off together. And what I'm kind of getting called to is actually it's like that part of the story to a degree, like that realness, but also later on to where he tries to pretend to be a prince. He runs into the genie. He goes to the tower situation of getting the lamp and things like that, to have wishes. And what is his wish? For love, right? For the lovers. But that wish that he asks for creates a problem, because then he's wearing a mask and he doesn't realize that that mask actually creates more problems, in being able to capture Jasmine's love, especially because she doesn't like stuffy suitors. And so he made a lot of assumptions that ended up resulting in a bigger tower situation. And then they ended up facing Jafar, and she found out that he lied. And true to being a divine feminine, she forgave him, and he realized in the end that he really should have just been himself. But as is true in real life, those situations needed to happen. Like, Aladdin may have never really felt fully accepted by Jasmine if he had not had the opportunity to fake it and try to present himself as, really just a prince who was pretending to be a street rat to get away from the horrible life of royalty and all that. And because he went through that, he really, really felt loved by Jasmine when she accepted him as really being a street rat. And what I'm kind of getting is that energy off of these cards. We've got the Nine of Cups and the Lovers and the Tower, and they're all in upright. So this energy for everybody, I think, is, especially with us going into, I mean, we just hit the Virgo sun. We've got Mercury that already transitioned into Virgo. Venus just transitioned into Cancer. We've got Mars in Aries, which is about to go retrograde in Aries in a couple of weeks. And I think really, like, everybody's got a wish that they're thinking about, and there's choices that need to be made, and towers are coming. And a lot of that is that Uranus in retrograde in Taurus energy, but also with the, as I was saying, with the moon going into Sag, like, we're ready to expand, we're ready for enlightenment, and that lightning striking that tower up there is kind of that aha thing. But I'm kind of getting the energy of two things. Those that folks that have been, I want to say, the real street rats, so to speak, like those that have been, let's say, creating bad karma. Those have been using others, those that have been manipulative, things like that. Like, a lot of there's going to be clarity coming as to who is who. And, that's what I'm getting. It's funny, that's what just came through right there, is if we put that right in the middle, it's kind of like that, who is my wish fulfillment and who is creating the towers. So we might be faced with some of this kind of Gemini energy, which makes sense because with the moon going into Sag, the polar opposite of Sag is Gemini, and so that's on the dark side of the moon. And you might also be dealing with a Gemini, or you may be a Gemini yourself, or have some Gemini placements. But yeah, I think I'm really getting, who is your wish and who is your tower, who is your karma, who is your twin flame, what which way do you go that will bring happiness? And either way, it's going to require some vulnerability because those characters in there are naked. There's a reason for that. And, you know, spirit, and it's, you see spirit at the top there. Spirit is saying, I will lay you naked and bare, but I will not tell you which is the right way to go, because neither of these are wrong answers. If you choose the person that brings towers, you will learn and you will grow. And you will do the same thing if you choose the person who is your wish fulfillment. But and I think for some of us, this is also a bit of energy of, do you stay single, or do you get single, or stay single? And if you're not single, like, do you stay with the person that's creating towers? And, you know, do you jump ship? On the bottom of the deck in our subconscious position, yeah, look at that, 9 of Wands. Um, This is the Wounded Healer card, though. This is kind of a good thing, but it's also about being vigilant and not being hyper vigilant. Like learning lessons, taking the lessons with you, but not living in that space where we're constantly anxious about the past coming up and nipping us in the butt. Hot topic card, 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. So, to a degree, so in upright, this is about like being independent and single, especially in feminine energy. Actually, that 9 of Cups is kind of the masculine version of that. So it may be that a fair amount of masculines, if you identify as masculine, regardless of gender, that will be, might be getting single. Maybe choose, like, maybe it's the wish to be free, to just be free, to be single for a while. But in upright, this is, you know, self-sufficient, this is self-possessed, this is doing your own gardening, being good on your own. In reverse, this is codependency. This is stagnation. This is clinging on to people because we don't want to be alone, and enabling bad habits to avoid it. So it's interesting that that should come in with the other singlehood card in there. They're both a bit about fulfillment from self before getting to that 10th pentacle or 10th cup of emotional fulfillment with another. So it may be that Spirit is taking some of us back to a state of singlehood and really creating towers where there is codependency, and bringing us back to a state of that. And it's funny because this is very much a Uranus card too. I believe if you look it up, it has to do with Uranus. And what I'm pulling in the middle of the deck here, oh, go figure. Queen of Swords in reverse. For some of you, it may be that you're afraid to talk to somebody who may have some Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius traits, or it may be that you are dealing with somebody who is in this energy. This is often karmic energy. On the feminine side is toxic femininity, somebody who is very cutthroat, very street rat-esque, but more like the guards, you know, like don't you go anywhere, I will cut you, kind of energy. And if you are feeling this way, if you're feeling triggered by somebody who wants to leave you, somebody who does not want to be in a codependent situation, that's for you to work on. That, you know, don't hold somebody with you just because you don't want to be alone. And if you're dealing with somebody who is in this energy, recognize that there is nothing that you can do to fix that. The best thing you can do is have healthy boundaries. That's a person that you need healthy boundaries with, and especially if you love them. Underneath here we have, let's see, Knight of Swords. And again, this figure wants to keep popping up before. I swear, there's somebody in our environments who is trying to have their hand in every cookie jar. And it might be even that we are either fighting with them or thinking about them, or they are thinking about us and trying to rush in and have their hands in everything. We've got the 2 of Cups in reverse, and the 3 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, and look at that, the 8 of Wands in reverse. And then beneath that, the King of Pentacles. So it may be that you are trying to communicate with an earth sign and are being prevented by an air sign, or If you might be an air sign trying to communicate with an earth sign, or an earth sign trying to communicate with an air sign. There's definitely water elements in there, and a desire for reconciliation, but their travel and communication are being restricted. And there's disharmony, possibly some breakups going on. I got some of that in the Divine Masculine reading that I did just before this one. Yeah, yeah, some sort of stuckness in the past, a refusal to see things, and interesting. Look, Divine Feminine underneath all that. Yeah, and underneath her, the Queen of Wands in reverse, definitely another narcissistic card, and the Wheel of Fortune. Spirit's coming in to shake things up. That's usually what the Tower card is, too. It's usually the Spirit saying you have stayed too long in a situation that was never meant to be built upon. It's time to knock it over. And, you know, I think what I might even call this this video is, what do you wish? What is your wish? If you wish for love, then you need to go after it. You need to go for real love, which also includes getting single, learning how to be single on your own, learning how to fill your own cups, so that when you go to a relationship, you are giving. We shouldn't go to relationships seeking to take, or only worrying about getting safety, because we're only going to have towers in that. And if what you seek is not really love, it's business or something like that, it's just going to create more towers. I'm really getting the genie energy off of that one, that guy in there too. Alright, y'all, I'm going to leave it there. If you have any questions or would like a private reading, I leave my contact info in the description box below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.